What's up, guys? So this is going to be a serious video, and a lot of videos that I make that are serious on this channel is basically a lot of advice I would want to give myself back in my 20s. I'm always wanting to give the best advice that I can, or just maybe my life experience and thoughts that I had to come around on my own to figure out. There was no one there to tell me pretty much throughout my entire 20s. Like, I was in several bands, I released CDs, and nothing happened, you know? It was just everything just failure after failure. But every failure is always a step in the right direction if you just keep going. I see everything that I did as a 20-something-year-old as what got me to where I am today. And I want to maybe give you some guidelines to go by if you were like me in my 20s and just things didn't work out and you're wondering why and you're getting frustrated and you're getting angry and whatever else. Yeah, this is the video for you. So sit down, enjoy. Big Brother DJ Glowing Eyes is here to tell you at least my experience. Now, you know, I'm still growing. I'm still learning things. I'm still getting this light bulb in my head every once in a while going, oh, maybe that's why that didn't work before. If I only, you know, one little change in your brain could make all the difference. There's one thing I do now, I've been doing for about 6, 7 years, ever since I turned on the switch. That's probably the bad sound effect. Ding! Turned on the switch. It's when you first wake up, do not fill your head with any toxic stuff. Like, don't wake up and think, oh, that person is making more money than me. Oh, that person is this. Or, oh, that friend that really took money from me, I hope he's doing bad. Like, do not ever, like, you are just feeding your brain just toxic sludge, just poison, envy, anger, looking at somebody else and thinking, oh, who's he trying to be? He thinks he's all cool. Oh, look at this guy on YouTube. He's got his hat on backwards. He's wearing some funny tee. He thinks he's so cool. I'm going to leave a bad comment. I was that guy in my 20s. So when I get bad comments on my videos, it's like, I know exactly where that guy's coming from. Or woman. Sometimes it's a woman. And I'm here for everybody, just to like, hey, yeah, we're all going through something. And I'm not, you know, a special case. Everybody has something that has happened to them that's just really bad, and it probably just goes over and over in their brains when they're like sitting idle and not thinking about a certain task at hand. Like, once they relax, they kind of just get into their heads, and it'll kind of revert to a certain thing or whatever somebody did and be like, that's the reason why my life isn't this. Now, you could totally just disregard all that and realize, you know what? I am not going to let this thing that happened to me in the past define my future or keep me programmed to think a certain way forever. Like, just disconnect from all of that. I wake up now every morning and tell myself it's going to be a good day. It may sound hokey, may sound like I'm a hippie or whatever. It's a brand new day. Yeah. Whatever you think does help your brain. You know, feed your brain good things, and you'll realize you are in a better mood. It's a simple thing. It's just simple as that. Is when you wake up in the morning, say, today's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to do a lot of stuff, get a lot of things done. Because I used to wake up, and first thing out of my mouth was, fuck. Which is funny, don't get me wrong. A lot of it is in the media too. Like, you'll just watch a news story and you'll get mad. And there's always something in a news story that will make you want to say, oh, the reason I'm mad is because of this, so I'm going to get mad at this, and everything associated with, like, oh God, it is so bad. The best thing to do is just, I don't watch TV that much. I don't focus on the news. People will ask me, hey, did you hear about that thing? No, I didn't. I don't know. I'm in my own world. I know about a new soda that's out because that's what I have veered towards is just that. And people will think, oh, it's the corporations, that's all you care about. It's like, no, 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 no. You got to be real with yourself too and say, yeah, there is bad things happening in the world every single day. At this very moment, this second, something bad is happening somewhere. The best thing I could say about that is just do your best. Because if all those other bad things are happening in the world, and maybe the bad thing that happened to you is happening now somewhere else, what good is it to think about how bad that is? Maybe the best thing you could do is thinking, okay, how could I fix this? Or how could I make someone's day? So that's where I'm at now. Like, yeah, I came from a place where I was highly creative in my 20s. I learned a lot in my 20s from music production, videos, stuff like that. Videos came in late 20s, early 30s. I learned so much in my 20s. Like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't just sitting around being a slob in my 20s. I was working hard so much, like graphic design, recording everything, learning everything, putting together bands and managing them and getting us gigs here and there. Like, I did it all, but I learned so much from all those experiences that I don't regret anything I did in my 20s. Besides this one thing, I just wish this thing, I got it more on straight when I was in my 20s, but you know, you're young, you have hormones, you got all kinds of things going through your head. By the time I got into my early 30s, I had, 15 years of experience making music and making graphics and stuff for album covers and everything else. And I think by then it was okay. Everything I did in the past, I thought I was doing with good intentions. You know, it was funny and everything. But I realized the person behind all of that was this dude, just really, he was going about it the complete opposite way anybody normal should. And I feel like people that are creative, they're damaged in some way. I feel like the people that have like no creative drive in them, they're content with doing a normal thing day in, day out. They are very well adjusted people. The creative people are the ones that are always like seeking for something more because there's a void. It was a very rocky road, and I went about it the wrong way. I had good intentions. At the core of me, I had good intentions, but they came out very, very wrong. Everybody has something, and your perception of somebody could be completely wrong. There's been plenty of times people perceive me to be a certain way when I'm actually not. Phone ran out of space. Anyways, now I can't be too harsh on myself of, how I was in my 20s and how I handled things with music or whatever I did because I had no other way of thinking. I was just doing what I thought was the best thing. And I think that's how a lot of people are. They have no other way of thinking of something. They may come across you and, have the best intentions, have a good heart, but every single thing they're doing is wrong. But they don't have the tools. That's the whole thing. If they're handed the tools right off the bat, they could breeze through life. But if they're not, it's gonna be rough taking a piece of paper and try to dig a hole as opposed to having a shovel. Anyways, I had this epiphany the other day of the best way to illustrate how to really make something that is a project or whatever, a creative project or anything that you want to do in life. It's not even if it's a creative thing. It's just like anything that you want to see in your life grow and blossom into something nice and decent and good. It's something called the tree of creativity, or I like to call it the Creativitree. So I want you to imagine that your project is going to be this tree that is growing and it blossoms every year. Just everything is fruitful. Fruit falls from the tree, just all that, the whole 9 yards, just like the biggest, strongest tree in the entire forest. Now, if you are going to grow that tree, what kind of soil would that tree need? Would it be poor quality, rocky soil? No, absolutely not. It would be rich soil. You are the soil. Your mind, your health, your body, everything is connected. Exercising. I started exercising when I was about 31, 32. I look at videos of myself before then. My face is all bloated, and the videos were funny. I watch back at those videos, and I'm like, that dude was really looking for help. He was wanting to do something, and I feel like people that are creative and the project they do is really kind of a cry for help. I need someone to just notice me. It's never enough. All these people that get recognition right off the bat without doing something. I want that. I can't get it being who I am because I'm a damaged person. And the only way I will get noticed is if I do this thing, you know? That's how subliminally I did think. I didn't notice it at the time. I realized, okay, I was doing things to make people notice me. And I didn't want that. I realized it didn't help. It didn't work. It didn't make me feel good. It just alienated me even more. And I, had an epiphany and I just stopped. I didn't want anybody to notice me. I just, I had to build up my whole idea of who I was and what I am from the ground up. And that was like late 2018, early 2019. I realized when I did take a long break and I didn't do anything creative, life was meaningless. And that's when you realize when you have a calling, it will call you. And it was definitely calling after I didn't do anything for about 3 months. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I don't know what this thing is. I'm going to drop some blueprints, but I'm going to make sure it's good and it comes from a place where I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for anything but to make myself enjoy things in life. And that's when I started this channel, started the whole deal. And ever since then, that's how it's been. There's always been a bigger mission with this channel besides, oh yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. Oh, I want to be big and famous. Ah! So when I make thumbnails and I'm like, I do it kind of sarcastically because that really isn't me. Perception it always shocks me, people's perception, because it's just a sarcastic thing. I had one guy comment recently saying that he would subscribe to me in a heartbeat if I only made documentaries. That's not how I work. I do what I want. And yes, I personally enjoy documentaries about things I find interesting and entertaining. And that's when I'll do them, and that's when I'll put out documentaries. But I don't really live to please people. I live to make things that I truly enjoy and throw it out into the ether. And if anybody likes it, they'll like it. If not, it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to be like, oh, I need that validation. I need someone to pat me on the back and tell me I'm being a good boy. I'm like, okay, this video is cool. I'm going to put it out and I'm going to go on to the next thing because like I say in a few videos, life is very short and you got to fill it up with some cool stuff. And that is the mission, I guess, if there is a mission to this channel and this Industrial Industries World Radio, it's that. So when people are confused, when they come across the channel and they see, oh, this guy is just farting in this video, and then there's this really in-depth video on the history of the first song or whatever, it confuses them. It's just, I'm not like these channels where I'm going to do TV tech reviews or whatever and just do reviews on TV. Something that is just completely, it has no soul behind it. There's a lot of people that just like make a YouTube channel with, I guess, no real soul behind it, real drive. So that's when people do come across this channel. They're used to a lot of channels that focus on one thing, and they come across this and like, what? What's this? This is weird. I don't know if I feel right about it. So like I said, you got to start with the soil, and the soil is you. The tree, the seedling for the tree that falls into the soil are your creative projects, your thoughts, whatever. The thing that is going to be the vehicle for your creativity or whatever you want to do, your venture. And if that seedling of that tree, your project, falls into bad soil, just rocky soil, soil that isn't focused, soil that doesn't exercise at least 3 times a week, soil that is just stagnant and doesn't do anything, what do you think the seedling of that tree is going to do? It's going to maybe pop up a little bit and maybe even grow a little bit, but the tree isn't going to do too much, as opposed to good soil, soil that is focused, soil that is ready and primed and will put in the hard work and the long hours and do the research and do all of these things that will help the tree, your idea, your venture, grow and actually become fruitful. Now, we're not just stopping there with the soil and the tree. Now, let's say you got, great soil. Boom, the tree has been planted and it's sprouting up. There's a few branches here and there. Now, with that, there's a few branches, but you want this thing to be huge and just branches everywhere. Branches, branch out. I mean, that's what you have to do. You got to branch out, try new things, be willing to take risks. You got to go at it fearlessly. You can't be scared about it or timid about it. Okay, I want to try it. Okay. Oh, no, maybe not. No, you got to be like, yes, go in, boom. If there's a will, there's a way. That's what you got to do with anything when it becomes a project that you're doing. When a manager or some agent calls you and they want to book you for a show, you could either say, no, it was only me and this other dude in this band. We don't have a drummer or a bassist, and you turn it down. Or you could do, I actually was in that scenario, real quickly, in about a month, find another guitarist and a bassist and a drummer and form a band so we could play that gig. And it's those little instances, those risks, those things that really you push yourself out there and really go and get it, that will make your tree fuller and bloom a whole lot more. Another thing, a very important thing, is I don't drink alcohol, never done drugs, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that. Now, I know I sound very lame because the majority of people do drink or they at least smoke a little bit, whatever. But I think if you really want to stay focused on something and really get something done, you have to really have your mind straight and not go down a path of one way or another to just alleviate some kind of bad feeling you have in the moment. I always feel like if you want to get out of a bad mood by drinking, you're just putting a Band-Aid on a problem that's going to be there the next morning. And with alcohol, I think you're just kind of making it worse. But there's a million country songs that will say that I'm wrong. But regardless, that's just my thought. So if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video is when you are going to pursue something, make sure the soil that is you, your body, your mind, everything is rich enough for the thing to actually grow. Because if you're having problems and low self-esteem, or you're just not happy with yourself, or you're in a depressed state or whatever, the project isn't going to be as fruitful as you desire it to be. So the basis of it is you got to be ready to go on all engines, on all accounts. It's kind of like being in a relationship too. Like, you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself first. So yeah, you got to have a good home base to build anything. So it's a very simple advice, but it was definitely something I wish I had known back when I was in my 20s or whatever. But this is a very serious video, and I know a lot of people are used to funny stuff I do or documentary style stuff, but we're all human. We all have these thoughts. We all have these experiences, and that's what I'm always wanting to share on the channel too as well. So I hope this video helps some of you out there, and like I said, I'm a work in progress too. I'm no angel. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning and growing, but that's what life is all about. You know, just learning from mistakes, correcting yourself, and getting yourself on a better path. And, you know, sometimes that line will blur further down the road, but sometimes you got to look back and like check yourself and be like, hey, no, no, what you're doing here, you're eating too many cheeseburgers. You're getting a little pudgy. Get on that treadmill. That's something I need to do actually soon. And yeah, so that's it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I am DJ Glowing Ice. See you soon. Peace out.